The UFC pound for pound tier list is not right. It's not correct. Okay, let's take a look at it right now. Okay, so this is the official pound for pound list right here, and we need to do some changing. So today we are going to recreate the pound for pound list, and it's going to be the correct pound for pound list. Okay, you just got to trust me. I'm going to do this correctly. And number 1, we got Ilia Topuria, debatable, right? Number 2, Islam Makhachev. Number 3, Merab. Number 4, Dracus. Number 5, Alexandre Pantoja. Number 6, Volkanovski. 7, Magomed Ankalaev. Number 8, Jack Della Maddalena. Number 9, Tom Aspinall. I don't know about that. And number 10, Alex Pereira. We're going to do the first 13, okay? Because honestly, I just feel like if you don't have a belt, and you know you're coming off of a loss, you probably shouldn't be in the pound for pound fighter list, right? Like Max Bilal, Armin, but you know he hasn't even fought in however many months because of his back. So it's like I don't know why he's in there. Khamzat Chimaev, I believe, should be in there. Charles Oliveira, I believe, shouldn't be in the pound for pound list. So this is what we're gonna do. We are going to change it up a bit, okay? So we got Ilia number 1, Islam number 2, Merab number 3, Dracus number 4, Alexandre Pantoja number 5. We're going to recreate this. We're going to come back to it. We're going to compare the two with mine and with the current one. So let's begin. All right, so in my top 13, we're just going to do the 13 because that covers most of the champions and then like 1 or 2 behind them, right? And we're including the women champions because they deserve to be on the pound for pound list. They are MMA fighters. This is an MMA pound for pound list, right? It's not just men's, it's all MMA, okay? So what we're going to do first, we are going to take John Jones and put him back in the cesspool of fighters down here because he has retired. If he didn't retire, he would be in this, but he is not, okay? So we are going, and it would be a little more interesting, right? But we are going to start from the bottom to the top, okay? And we're going to start with somebody who is not a champion. Now, my list, we got Khamzat, Magomed Ankalaev, Jack, Tom Aspinall, DDP, Merab, Volk, Ilia, Pantoja, Islam, Zhang Weili, Shevchenko, and Kayla Harris. Okay, so we are going to start with Mr. Khamzat Chimaev. That he deserves to be on the pound for pound list because he ragdolls every single person he fights. He doesn't have the belt, so I'm not going to put him in the top whatever he deserves to be at right now because I do think he has a very good chance of beating Dracus du Plessis, but he's not a champion, so we're just going to stick true to that rule right now, okay? The rule of thumb, you have to be a champ. So he is at 13, okay? Next up, we are going to fill the 12th spot, and the 12th spot is going to go to my girl, Zhang Weili, because I believe she's already here in the 12th spot. We're going to put her at the end of the list, and then, yeah. So I believe Zhang Weili is one of the best women fighters of all time, without a doubt. She has one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life, men or women, versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. That is one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life. I put her at 12 because I do believe Shevchenko is a little bit bigger, a little bit better, right? I think Shevchenko would beat her in a fight because of her athleticism, her experience, and she's just a little bit bigger. So I think that would really play an effect due to the styles of both women. They both are very good on the feet. I think Shevchenko's a little bit better everywhere. On the feet, she's more tight. On the ground, she's more tight. And I think she would have a better gas tank going into a 5-round fight against Zhang Weili, who's very explosive, who does have really good 5-round experience. But I have Shevchenko at number 11. And that is obvious because she is, I think the second best women's MMA fighter right now on the planet. I think she's very good. I think she's more technical everywhere than who I'm going to place above these two. But the sheer athleticism from Kayla Harris sits her at a nice, comfortable 10 seed in the pound for pound list. Okay, she is athletic. She has very good submissions, very good wrestling. I think if she fought, the two girls underneath her at her weight, she would just be way too big. She would just ragdoll them on the ground and pretty much just end up submitting them like she did with Juliana Pena. I believe that. Maybe not as easy because the other girls I think are a little bit more technical on the ground, but I do think she would have her way with the two other women when it comes to clinch work, when it comes to ground game, okay? So next up, we are moving in to the men now. And at number 9, we are going to go with Magomed Ankalaev. He is undefeated in the UFC, I believe. He might have one draw. I'm coming off the top of my head. I think he has one draw, maybe one loss. I don't remember. I think it was a draw with Jan Blachowicz. I'm not too sure, but he's at number 9 because I think his skill set's there. I think he's very good on the feet, very good on the ground, but he's not the greatest finisher, right? He doesn't have the most finishes out of anyone else on this list. He's not the most explosive. He's not the most exciting, and I do think in a rematch with Pereira, I do think Pereira comes back stronger. I'm pretty sure that there was like a suspect that Pereira was hurt. He was sick going into the fight, so that put him at a major disadvantage. He was fighting the flu or something like that. That's the word on the street. And I do believe that because he was out striking Alex Pereira, so I do think Alex probably was suffering from something, you know, outside of the octagon to be getting outstruck like that. I don't think in the rematch it goes the same way unless Magomed just goes straight up wrestling the whole time. That's the only way I really think he wins. I do think Alex takes the rematch if they ever fight again. So yeah, I got Magomed Ankalaev at number 9. Now at number 8, we have Jack Della Maddalena, the newest champion added to the roster. This dude is sick everywhere. I want to see him defend his belt a couple more times, and then we could redo the pound for pound list. But right now, he beat one of the best champions in the welterweight division, who just has been mauling everybody on his way to getting the belt. Mauled Leon Edwards for 5 rounds, and he made him look like, you know, he made him look human, right? I know it's kind of crazy to say that because we're talking about Bilal, but he really shut Bilal down everywhere on the feet, on the cage, wrestling. He just looked so good. His timing was so good, and he's my top 3 best strikers in the UFC. It's him, Ilya, and probably Joshua Van in terms of crisp, clean technique. I would have to throw in, you know, Tom Aspinall's really good on the feet too, so he'll be in the mix. But he's in my top 3, top 4, maybe top 5 best strikers in the UFC. I'm giving it to Jack Della Maddalena, number 8. Number 7, we have Mr. Dricus du Plessis. Okay, he's at number 7 because I believe he has some tough fights ahead of him. I think he's going to have a really, really tough fight with Khamzat. I thought Izzy was winning that fight until he got tripped up and then submitted, right? So I don't think he is the most technical striker. I don't think he's the most technical fighter, but he gets the fucking job done. You cannot control his pace. If he controls the pace, he wins the fight. And it's hard to hurt somebody as durable as him. I do think Izzy was up on the scorecards against Dricus because of the striking. He was outstriking him. He looked really good. He didn't look like the best Izzy of all time, but he did look good. And, you know, he pretty much fell into that takedown that ended up getting Izzy on the floor. Izzy fucked up, lost his foot. He beat Izzy. This is not an excuse for Izzy. He beat Izzy, got on top of him, choked him out, and then he beat, you know, champions prior to that in very decisive manners. So Dricus du Plessis at number 7. I think that is a well-deserved spot. I think he has tough fights coming up ahead of him. We will see how he does against Khamzat Chimaev. Now at number 6, we got Alexander Volkanovski. He's going to be at number 6 because he is coming off of that loss with Ilya and then the loss with Islam, right? And then he just beat Diego Lopez in a really good fight. Diego Lopez almost beat him a couple times, right? He cracked him really good 2 times in that fight, so the fight was really up in the air. He didn't really steal the whole fight like he usually would. He didn't dominate the entire 5 rounds like he has been against every other featherweight he's ever fought besides Ilya. He's starting to look a little more human. So I'm giving him number 6 just because he finally got back into the swing of being a champion again. And that wasn't a defense fight, right? He didn't defend his title against Lopez. He won the title back against Lopez. So he's sitting at a comfortable 6. He gets a couple more wins. He'll be back in the top 5 easily, right? So I got Volk at number 6. That means at number 5, we got Alexandre Pantoja. This dude is a beast, man. He's been going in there and just totally dominating everybody in the 125-pound division. He's been submitting everybody. He's been knocking fools out. He's just looking really good. He submitted Brandon Royval, submitted Kai Kara France. He's going to have a tough Tough fight on his hands with Joshua Van, but I do believe he gets through Joshua Van. We don't know Joshua Van's ground game, and I don't think, Joshua's only been training for 5 years. If he cannot keep the fight on the feet, I don't think he has a chance when it comes to grappling. You cannot make an elite grappler in MMA in 5 years. That takes something to where you only focus on grappling. You can make an elite striker, as we've seen. Joshua Van is an elite striker with only 5 years under his belt. You can make an elite striker. I don't believe you can make an elite grappler within 5 years. And I don't mean just takedown defense. That's one aspect of grappling, right? I believe you could get good enough to have really good takedown defense. We've seen that with Izzy. We've seen that with Max. We've seen that with Jose Aldo, but Jose Aldo is really good on the ground as well. But you can develop a very good takedown defense style and still be very dominant as a striker, right? I don't think if, the fight goes to the ground, I don't think he's going to have a chance. I think Pantoja is going to be all over him, and he's sitting at a comfortable 5 with the next win over Joshua Van. He could be in the top 3 easily, because next up we are going with Mr. Merab Dvalishvili at number 4. This dude is a beast. He's been on a tear. He's been undefeated in the past, 5-6 years. He hasn't lost since he got, I think, didn't he get knocked out? I don't remember. His last loss was a long time ago, and ever since then, he lost to Mr. Mullet Man. What is his name? He just fought earlier. Ricky Simone. He lost to Ricky Simone, and then ever since then, he hasn't looked back. He's beaten every single buddy by crazy unanimous decisions. Just the machine, just insanely dominant every single round. He's just dominant. He beat the shit out of Umar. I thought he had a great game plan with Umar, level changing a lot, throwing the cross to the chest, throwing his punches low, so anytime Umar went for a takedown, he just ran into punches, right? And that's very underrated. It's something not a lot of people are seeing that he did, but I seen it. Anytime Umar is backing up and he goes for a takedown, Merab was feigning that takedown, and then he was throwing a cross right to the chest. He was just throwing it to the chest, wasn't looking for his chin, looking for the body, making Umar run into those punches. So when he went for the takedown, they were getting stuffed by punches, right? I do think he's at number 4. I think he could easily be at number 3, but he's even said like Ilya would knock him out because he's been dropped in sparring against Ilya, which brings me to the man himself, Ilya Topuria. I think he's at number 3. Okay, a lot of people are putting him at number 1 because his recent 3 fights against, legends, and he's been knocking them all out. Listen, I'm not taking anything at all away from Ilya. He has been knocking out legends for sure. But in my opinion, each fight he's been going into, these past 3 fights have been going, Ilya's going to win this for sure. Against Volk, I thought he was going to win. We all knew he was coming off that knockout with Islam. And then he fought Max. I was like, bro, Max looked great at 155. He bulked up. He got stronger. And then made the dumbest decision to go back down to 45. I thought that was just idiotic of Max. Like, I get it. It's for the belt. You're going to take that fight. But, like, dude, bro, come on. You had something there at 55. You just became the BMF champ. You had weight. You could have just kept the snowball going, but you decided to cut that weight back. All the weight that you just gained to be 55 to fight against these bigger guys, you cut all that weight. You looked horrible in the weight cut. You didn't look that great in the fight. You had decent moments, but you did look, a little hesitant. Like, you kind of knew what was coming. You were fighting a little scared, I believe. And, yeah, Ilya did his thing, and then he fought Charles, which is somebody that Islam had already beat very, very decisively. Charles had nothing for Islam. He beat him up on the feet, beat him up on the ground, submitted him. He submitted the guy with the most submissions of all time, okay? You can't tell me nothing. Ooh, okay, cool. Ilya knocked him clean out. It's not like we haven't seen Charles lose to TKO before. We've never seen him get submitted. Islam went in there, manhandled him, submitted him every which way up and down, and that is why Islam is number 2, because now he is moving up to 170 to fight Jack Della Maddalena. And I swear, man, if he gets on Jack's legs and gets him up against the cage and takes him down, I know Jack is big, he's strong, but I don't think he has the gas tank to fight Islam, especially a 170 Islam who doesn't have to cut as much weight to get to 55. He's going to have more in the gas tank. He's going to be strong. He's also going to be as strong as Jack, and I think he's going to get Jack in very vulnerable positions on the ground. He could take his back very early in the fight and choke him out. I do believe we're going to see Islam by submission in that fight, or if Jack wins, it's going to be a 5-round war, or he knocks out Islam. Right, but I do see Islam winning that fight pretty decisively. I think if he ever fights Ilya, it'll be the same way. He gets him to the cage, he wears on him, takes him down, beats him up, chokes him out. right? He might not choke out Ilya. He might not submit him, but we've never seen Ilya go to 5 rounds, right? Well, we have, I'm sorry, against Josh Emmett, but he dominated that entire fight. When you're dominating a fight, you don't waste as much gas, okay? Especially if you're in shape and you know how to control, your output like he does. He's not going to gas out going 5 rounds in a fight he's dominating. But when someone's bigger than you, they're wearing on you, they're wrestling you, they're kicking you, it's a totally different story, okay? Your gas tank withers a little bit. So we will see what happens with him and Islam in the future if Islam could get past JDM, which I do believe will happen. And then, then we'll find out then. But I got Islam sitting at a comfortable 2. Now, number 1, I don't care what anybody says. If you are the heavyweight undisputed champion, you are by default, the number 1 pound-for-pound MMA fighter on the planet, because none of these guys below you can beat you. Maybe the light heavyweight champ has a very, you could have an argument there, but it's Magomed Ankalaev. He's a natural 205er. Tom Aspinall's a natural 260. He will beat the shit out of anyone on this list. He'll beat the shit out of Islam. He'll beat the shit out of Topuria. He'll beat the shit out of Merab. It's just the size and athleticism is way too much for him. Maybe if you stay on the outside and low kick his leg to oblivion, but dude, you just don't understand. Like, people are like, no, like, dude, you don't know what it's like fighting or sparring against a heavyweight. I do. It's not the same. They can end your life like that, okay? These dudes hit way fucking harder than people really can, imagine. And there's no maybe this goes to the ground and, we get a lucky submission from Islam or something like that. There's no way in hell. Maybe, right? Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe Islam gets him to the ground, finds a choke. Maybe. But we got to understand Tom Aspinall is very, very good on the ground as well. He is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a legit heavyweight Jiu-Jitsu artist, okay? That is very tough to deal with, especially if he gets Islam on his back. He's not getting up off of that, right? It's just not going to happen. Maybe John Jones, I could argue more so, that wouldn't happen. But Tom Aspinall is the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter on the planet right now because he is the undisputed heavyweight champion. So you can't tell me that he wouldn't beat everyone else on this list, okay? He would. So that is my list. That is what it needs to be. It's just crazy that you don't think the heavyweight champion, it doesn't matter who it is, the heavyweight champion should always be number 1 pound for pound, because when you are the heavyweight champion, you are dubbed as the baddest man on the planet. If John Jones was still active, he would be number 1. I don't care. I don't care who's below him. We're not doing because of recency fighter bias. It doesn't matter if this guy fought John Jones, if Ilya fought John Jones, if Islam fought John Jones, they would fucking lose, okay? So it's the same argument. Heavyweight champ is number 1. You can argue light heavyweight could be number 1, like when John Jones was the light heavyweight champion and Stipe was the heavyweight champion. I would give that argument because it's John Jones. We're not talking about John Jones anymore. We're talking about Magomed Ankalaev or Alex Pereira. Tom Aspinall steamrolls through those guys. He beats them easily. He is the new John Jones, in my opinion, and he's a heavyweight. So he's number 1. This is the real P4P list, okay? Take it up with me in the comments. Let me know what you think. What are your top 5 right now? Let me know down below. And make sure you like, subscribe, tune into the next one. Peace out, everybody.